Welcome, everybody. We're back here with the Fat Thor podcast. I am your host, Andy Gunnin. With me, my co-host, Jody Cieutat.
What's up, sir?
What's up, brother? Oh, nothing much. Hold on, let me adjust my volume on my mic. I got this thing blaring through my ears. Hold on. Yeah, all the things are off. Anyways, we're back. Back here at Fat Thor podcast. I've been gone for a little while, a couple of weeks, doing shows out in Vegas, and then went from Vegas straight to Oklahoma City and did shows out there every day for about 15, 16 days straight. Flew out on the 11th, came back on the 26th, and I was wore out, slap beat up. Exhausting. Apparently, summer decides to show up in Oklahoma in September because it was over 100 degrees every day, and doing 4 or 5 shows outside a day. Every day and out there at the fairgrounds until 8 o'clock at night. So yeah, we weren't able to record a podcast like I had hoped. Very little time. I'm very exhausted. So kind of took a break, not intentionally, but we did upload some podcasts to our podcast feeds out there on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, 17 other platforms to keep things going. So, we're here to catch up. Had some good shows. Like I said, had some good shows. We did a podcast last week. I'm out of it. I am just totally out of it. We're back this week. Give you back on straight on Jody. back on track. Anyways, yeah, it's been a weird. We were supposed to try to do a podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, everything went out here at our house at 10:30. It was crazy, and so anyway, so I'm trying to get back on track on everything. But you, my friend Jody, is the TikTok ambassador and harasser. I don't know. We were going to talk about Reese's. That was we were going to talk about a little bit of Reese's movies, everything else like we talk about, and things like that. But you got banned. You got off a ban. And then I sent you a message that I got muted on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yesterday I got muted? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
I got muted. I was like, look what I did. I got muted. And you go, I'll one up you. You went live, and then you got your live shut down.
Yeah, it was lovely. But I appealed it and won within 2 hours.
Okay, so you won the appeal. Hold on. So you won the appeal. Well, but they let you appeal.
Yeah.
They let you appeal because remember I was telling you, like, when I got in trouble a couple times, like after like the second or third one that they flagged or someone reported, I couldn't appeal anymore. I could just hit appeal, but I couldn't type out why. I couldn't do an explanation. Same thing when I got muted on that one, which was totally BS, which I sent it to you and you saw it.
And the thing is it's mainly followers. Like, it's sad. Like, the more followers you got, the quicker they're going to do it.
Yeah, you know, you've got some trolls in there, you know, some things like that. I went on there a while back, you know, because I was growing, and then I've not been able to get past like 18,700. I've been stuck in like 18,700 people for like, I mean, forever. I'll get some, I'll lose some, and then a lot of it I get disinterested because they'll mute me or suppress me. And I'm just like, why am I doing all this stuff and getting suppressed? I'm just, you know, and I let it ride, which is probably not the best thing to do. But at some point you just give up. You're like, I'm done. I'm just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I got better things to do, and I got to wait. I got to make money, you know.
Well, it's the thing of how much time do you put into it? You've got to find that balance.
Right. And we've talked about that before. You know, it's like some people put a ton of time in producing these things and some don't. And I figured out a way. I can do one. I can produce one anywhere from 1 minute to 30 minutes. It typically takes me 15 to 30 minutes. I can do one in 10 minutes now, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to spend that amount of time on it, I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. Yeah. But I'm also doing it, to gain followers and things like that. Because like we talked before, this whole entertainment world now is based upon what is your social media presence? What is your social media presence? Yeah. So, before we get too far, let's go. Sorta Classy. We're sponsored by sortaclassy.com. Go to Sorta Classy. Get all your Sorta Classy needs, ladies. Get earrings, dresses, gifts. Guys, need something for your wife, girlfriend, side piece, whatever. You can get it at sortaclassy.com. And we don't do, and we'll send it to you. We won't even say who it's for. That way, if you get a box at the wrong person's house, you can just say it's for her. Anyways, but yeah, but and it's so stupid. It's so stupid because it was so funny because when I said, "Hey man, I get muted," and you're like, "Oh, watch this! I'm gonna get my live taken down."
I know. As soon as it went and said October 13th, I'm like, "Geez, Andy, thanks, appreciate that one."
I didn't do nothing. I didn't even know you were live. I didn't even know you were live.
We're gonna blame you anyways.
Oh, everybody blames me. I blame myself. I swear to God, I blame myself. I'm having a drink of iced coffee. I'm like trying to crash here. Anyways, yeah. So what did you say? Do you know what you said? Or you don't know what you said?
No. The only thing I can think of is somebody said, "What is your prescription for your eyeglasses?" And I said, "I am blind, so I'm batshit blind."
That's it. You said batshit and blind together. See?
About 8 minutes later, we were done.
8 minutes.
I'm thinking that was it.
That was probably it. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was
I can't help them batshit blonde. Jeez.
I'm blind
telling
too.
The truth?
Dude, I'm batshit blind myself, bro. I've been blind since I was 12, man. I got contacts. I just can't wear glasses. They give me a migraine. They're like, there's some nerve, or I got some vein or nerve back here in my head. Like, no matter, I've tried everything from the most expensive glasses to the cheapest glasses, but eventually it just sits there long enough. It doesn't even take 30 minutes, an hour, and I'll have a migraine. I can't wear any glasses. I mean, I'd like to. I mean, I like wearing glasses every now and then, but I can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's so stupid. I didn't even cuss in mine. I didn't cuss. I just said facts. I just stated facts in mine.
Yeah, I know. I watched it and I'm like, okay. They're all facts. Like, okay.
And then I was like, well, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna say something stupid? I'm just gonna say something factually stupid back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all a game.
And I wasn't even trying to be political. I was just stating, okay, well, let's just talk. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Man, I got so many. What's your political opinion? I'm like, nope.
Yeah, don't even.
I'm not discussing it.
Don't even do it, dude. I even got on mine. It says any politics discussed, I will ban you. Ban button engaged. I'll just go. I'll ban you. Just no matter what. If you're going to try to become on here, be a smart ass or whatever, I'm just going to hit the ban button.
I just figure it this way. You know I'm from the South.
Yes.
You hear how I talk.
Yes.
You know who I support. I don't need to tell you.
We're not profiling ourselves, but what we're saying is, but what we're saying is, what we're saying is,
I identify as that.
Identify as whatever you think. Oh, that's so stupid, man. So stupid. It was so funny. So funny. Because I was all excited about talking about your Reese's, which I'm glad, I guess, the Wi-Fi went out because then we have more to talk about.
Yeah.
Because, but not that we have more. I mean, I've always got stuff to talk about. But but it's so funny. Because I was like, I was going to talk about the Reese's thing because somebody did a write-up on one of these internet things. I forget what the name of it was. I had it pulled up. But anyways. And apparently your Reese's thing, which, by the way, Reese's is one of my favorite candies. You know I'm a peanut butter junkie. I'm a peanut butter nut, especially when it comes to Reese's peanut butter cups. But Reese's Pieces, I do love Reese's Pieces.
And they are Reese's Pieces.
And they are
I don't care what they say.
Pieces. Yeah, who's saying what?
They're saying it's Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I like Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Sounds better.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. E.T. loved them.
Yeah.
But you know, I love those things. But I'll bite the shell off of it and just eat the center like I do a regular chocolate peanut butter cup. I do. I'm weird. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm over here taking the shell off these Reese's Pieces," and she was like, "What?" I was like, "I just want the center. I don't care about the candy coating crap." Yeah, it's great.
So I think basically, I need to eat the candy part, and you need to eat the peanut butter. So we can switch them.
There you go. I'm your boy. I'm your boy.
All right, we'll make it work.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'll just eat a glob of peanut butter. I don't care. Oh man, I did make some peanut butter cookies last night. out of Alpha TikTok thing. I don't know if it's TikTok thing, but I've seen it on TikTok. It's they call it a vegan. My wife's gone. She's had to go back on no carbs, gluten free for health reasons and stuff.
Yeah.
Not feeling well. And so I'm like, so she's like, you've got to support me. And I'm like, support means I've got to go along with the program, which means I can't have the fun stuff either.
Which means you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, cook them, and eat them before she wakes up.
I can't do that. You can't do that. She'll smell it. Anyways, so I made these peanut butter cookies, and it's two things: peanut butter and maple syrup. And sure as crap, they work, man. But it tastes like eating a glob of peanut butter, but it's a little sweeter. It's not bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah. And she was pretty excited about it. So she's like, I like it. So anyways, so I found this thing where it's two things: peanut butter and maple syrup. I used butter pecan because that's all we had. It's like, I gotta save this thing, and it worked. Yeah, it worked. It really worked. So, and the only difference is your mind messes with you because you're sitting there thinking you're holding it like eating a cookie, and you expect it to have a different texture, so your mind plays with you. Yeah, but it tastes just like a peanut butter cookie. It just doesn't have the cakey, crumbly consistency. Texture. Yeah, consistency. There you go. So, I mean, it's pretty good. So, anyways.
So, it's amazing what you can learn off TikTok.
Right. Yeah, no, there's some good things. There's some good things. There's some good things and some easy things and some fun things. And then, I'm just on here trying to have fun with it because my wife's like, you just need to do cooking stuff. It's like, look, everybody does cooking stuff. And everybody knows I cook. Okay. Yeah. I cook, I love to cook, but that's not what I want to focus on. Yeah. I just want to focus on fun, happy, funny, comedy.
You got to find your niche.
Yeah, and getting work out of it. And I'll be honest, I still haven't really found my niche on there. I'll be honest. I'm still playing around. I haven't either. Yeah, shut up. 1.4. You asshole. Kidding. I'm happy. I'm proud for you. I just find it hilarious because now that you've touched the sun, they just keep messing with you, like shutting you down. Yeah. Yeah. But some of that spillover is coming over in here because I'm getting some weird messages from some young kids. Yeah. On the Fat Thor Bike, which is great. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on all the things. Thank you. Appreciate you. I value the excitement. But when they found out I'm managing and you're not managing, they're like, oh, okay, bye. I'm going over here. I go, okay. But they're like, I'm your biggest fan. It's like, I think you're looking for Jody. I think you're looking for me.
Hey, you know what's bad? We're starting to get phone calls at home.
Yeah, I saw that. So what happened there? How did that happen? Because how did your phone number get out there?
The thing is, when I first started, I had my name up. And
I remember that because there is an account out there with your name up still.
Yep, I should have deleted all that stuff first. So what they did was they used this tool called Google. Yeah. And they Googled it. Okay. So now they got my cell phone and the house number.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if somebody just Googled your name or if you accidentally slipped out. I was like, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is, Yeah,
exactly.
That sucks.
What does it at 9:30 when they're calling at night asking me where the Reese Pieces are?
Well, it wouldn't be bad if they just had your cell phone, but if they got the house number, you got a landline, they got a house number, and that's different. I mean, we've got a landline, but we only have it for the modem and some things. Yeah. I had to use it to fax something the other day.
Oh wow!
Did you? I had to fax something the other day, and it was to the it was to the Department of Labor. They sent me this weird letter, said I was asking about somebody, an employer who paid me some money back in 2021. I was like, I have no clue who this is. And they were like, is this you? And if not, please explain whatever, because apparently I didn't file it in my tax return or whatever. I was like, I have no clue who this is. So I sent it back. So I was like, I read it. I called them because it said you got because by the time I got it, it said I had 2 days to get it to them. And I'm like, I can't mail this and get it. But then it said you can fax it. The two options were fax. Nobody faxes crap anymore. No. To mail it. And I'm like, if I mail it, it's not going to get to them in time. And you know how that goes.
And they know it.
And and if they don't get to them in time, and then they're probably going to charge me back taxes on this. It wasn't even a huge amount of money, but it was a decent little paycheck. And I'm like, I don't know who this is. And so I refuted it, and I was like, And I was like, oh crap, I gotta go find a fax machine. Then I remembered the printer that I bought 6 years ago for my business, which I still use, is a very good. It's one of those deep well ink printers and stuff.
Yeah.
And we use it for stickers and all that. I remember I was like, oh, this got a fax option on it, I think. And sure enough, so I had to plug it in, and I faxed it to the Department of Labor so I could get there in time. So that I used the fax for the first time in probably 20 years or more.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was fun. So, but wasn't fun for what it was about. I was like, oh, this is stupid. But I was like, I'm like, has the government? Because I called a lady and I said, look, you got a fax number here. Come on now, this is Department of Labor. I mean, it's 2022. Y'all have got to be up with the program. It's not 1995. It's not, it's 2022.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have email. And she's like, yeah, she has email it. So I emailed it to her. But of course, I didn't. I was like, you never just do one thing with the government. You do it twice. You do a backup for a backup. So I went ahead and faxed it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, how do we went down the rabbit hole on the fax? Them calling you. Yeah, that sucks. They call. Yeah, they sucks that they. Well, did you delete that other account finally, or what? I mean, everybody knows your name. They're gonna find. Are you gonna go try to get your number taken down, your home number taken down?
I don't know. It just depends on what they actually. If they keep on.
Has it just been a couple, or is it a lot?
There's been maybe 2 or 3. It's not been a super lot, but
just kids, teenagers.
But yeah, exactly. We'll just ride it out and see what happens.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, I mean, you got remember caller ID? Do you got caller ID still?
Yeah.
Man,
everyone that's called, I've blocked them.
Okay, yeah, good.
So hopefully that kind of.
There you go. Or then post their number and say, hey, y'all call him or them. That's what you should go. You say, next person that calls me, I've got caller ID.
Well, I made a TikTok and I'm like, look, guys, like, that's kind of borderline stalking and harassing.
Yeah, I saw that. It popped up today. It popped up on my thing when I was looking at it at them this morning.
Yeah.
Just trying to see what else had happened between last night and today. And I was like, damn, they're calling you. They're calling you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm posting my phone number all over the place. Call me, hire me. Nobody's calling. God dang it. Oh, I did book a commercial for tomorrow. I booked a commercial.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What's your phone number? I'll put it on TikTok.
Oh, okay. It's 404. I mean, they call my cell phone all they want.
Yeah.
I have that sucker shut off by 10:30, 11 o'clock. It goes off. It goes off until 8:30, 9 o'clock next morning. Yeah, I don't play those games anymore.
No.
But I got booked on a commercial tomorrow. Just got the thing a minute ago. It was good.
Cool.
It's one of those things I've been, I got back on the Monday before last and had to get stuff in, and you just, because I was so busy, I did send some stuff out to people and try to get some booking stuff. I just couldn't focus on it like I normally do. People don't understand what it takes to get booked on stuff.
Yeah.
Not just TV and movie stuff, but also stand up.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything. And you got to pump out so many things. And sometimes you'll get a call back, sometimes you won't. And so I had to kind of get back in that mode of every morning again. I get up.
It's like a full-time job.
It is. I mean, you just get up and you just see what casting calls are there, what's available, what you match up with. And if you can do it, if you're available, if the pay is worth it and all the details, and then respond or do a reel or send a reel or update a pic or whatever they want. I spend a good 2.5, 3 hours every morning. And if you do the timeline of the day, I'll probably spend 4 to 5 hours on my phone and on the computer sending out casting calls and callbacks and things like that. Yeah. And so I'm back. So I finally landed a commercial after, and I looked, I counted, and this is the sales guy in me. And this is the sales guy in me. I count how many things I send out per how many I get hired.
Yeah.
So I know my ratio.
Yeah.
So I know my ratio. And right now I think I've probably put out 15 or 20. Well, that was just on Actors Access. That wasn't on all of them. I got to go back and add, but you probably get one for every 30. I get pretty one. I pretty much get one for about every 30 I send out.
Yeah.
Which that's not a bad return, but that's how much you got to send out. And sometimes you don't. Go ahead.
That's like I said, doing that part's like a full-time job, and then you go to do the full-time job. So it's basically two full-time jobs.
Go make money. You still got to go make money. You still got to figure out how to make money every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I was talking to a friend of mine, Joel Byers, on Hot Breath. He has Hot Breath podcast, which is a very popular podcast for comedians to go on. And we write jokes, we network, we talk from people from Canada to England, all over the country. It's a great networking community. And he and I were talking, and he's like, and we were talking about how I'm doing this full time now, and I'm not in construction anymore. And he was like, how are you figuring things out? How are you making money? What are you doing? I said, well, it goes back to when I was in sales, commission only sales. This is a commission only sales job.
Yeah.
You don't get paid until you land something. And even though they say you've got it, until you are on set or you deliver the product, then you're owed. Until that happens, you don't have anything.
Yeah. Till that check is in your hand.
Until that check is in your hand. So every day you got to set a goal. And I told her, I say, every day you got to set a goal. And whatever that goal is, it's $100 goal a day. You got to know what your bills are and what you need to bring in. You know, whether it's $2,000 a month, $3,000, whatever that number is. Don't get one that's so high out of realm. And if it's way too high and unreachable, then you need to scale some stuff back and get in a better budget. But no, I need to make $100 a day, Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday, whatever that schedule is going to be that you're going to allow, whether you're going to allow yourself 1 day or 2 days off. I typically say 1 day. Give yourself 1 day off a week, especially to get things going. Then you scale back. And let's just say, and I was told, let's say it's $100 a day. Okay. $100 a day. You know, you got to go to make $100 a day. Now, is that doing Uber? Is that, doing a job for your, selling stuff for yourself? Or is that going to work at a place for however many hours? Because you got to put X number of hours in. You got to put 4 to 5 hours in a day for all these auditions, to send out emails to bookers, to clubs, whatever. You got to manage your time. So 9 o'clock in the morning, you're pumping out emails, boom, 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 casting calls, boom, 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 and then stacking up the ones you've got to record into a video. Do you have time to do that today, or do you need to schedule that on tomorrow, the next day, and take an hour out of that? And you figure those timelines. Then you figure out what you got to do. And the scoreboard's zero every day when you wake up. You understand the scoreboard's zero, and you got to get to the point where you can make that $100, $150, or whatever. But every day you've got to go out there and do something in order to get something back. Now, I said 30. My ratio is 30 to 1, right? Okay, so the ratio is 30 to 1. So I've got to put out 6 a day. Now, if there's 10 possibilities I match up with to audition for, good. I put out 10 that day. Doesn't mean it's going to come back, but you're always working ahead. You're always working ahead, and the more you put in, but you've got to be able to say, hey, I got to go out and make $100 a day or 150. And you've got to be able to structure yourself in the day to be able to go, well, from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I've now got to go to work to make that $150. Once I make that $150, from that time, I can go do an open mic. From that time, I can go do whatever. And you're always building. And so the more you get into it, so you've got to, unless you set yourself goals and daily goals and structure your day, structure how you're going to function in a day like a business, you're never going to succeed. You're never going to be full-time in anything. You're never going to get anywhere. Yeah. That's just the way I do it.
Well, it's like the whole TikTok thing and the merch and all that. So that's what I kind of look at it now as a full-time job. I mean, because that's pretty much what it's slowly becoming.
It is. It's slowly becoming, but you got to be able to launch off of that, because the way they are functioning and running, it scares the shit out of me.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, because I thought about it as like, if I get as big as Jody, get as many followers, Jody, it's great. It's going to be good for me to be able to launch off of and book more gigs, get more opportunities, do things. It's not so much I'm looking for the money from TikTok. I care less about the money from it. It's the opportunities it's going to allow me to get. Yeah. Again, back to what we're already talking about doing. It's like you're doing something there. So when I do my emails and I do it in the morning, I allow myself an hour a day to try to plan and do a TikTok. Yeah, I'll do an hour a day. I'll give an hour a day to either play. And if I get done earlier, I get done earlier. Like I did one today in 10 minutes. Haven't posted it yet. Went on a walk with my wife because I had extra time to do that. But what scares me is the fact that in a blink of an eye, over something stupid, over something that's not showing your tits, your ass, or blowing your face off, doing something reckless and stupid, which they allow.
Yeah. Yes.
But because you said you're blind, you're batshit blind.
Yeah.
Because you're batshit blind, you get shut off and they turn it off. Like I think it's, what was it, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, when we did last podcast, like Stale Cracker, who was a very big TikTok guy. I found him back before he ever hit 1 million. I think he still had like 10 or 20,000. It was like right at 2020. He's a Cajun guy in Louisiana, loves to cook like I do, but he's a Cajun guy, and he's a big Cajun hunter, and he just blended what he does for a living and his cooking all together and just started doing it and showing people, and it just took off. Now he had 5.8 million. 5.8 million. Now from this, he started a business, 2 businesses. He goes around and does crab boils. He's got endorsements with companies that have these Cajun crawfish boilers and all that. And he also launched a spice thing, just like Dano's. Dano's launched his spice thing off of TikTok. At this point, he's big enough. He's not worried if TikTok shuts him off.
Yeah.
Stale Cracker, 5.8 million. He had started putting stuff in Facebook and other things and grew that to a couple of million following. But they shut him off. And I still don't know why. But they shut his ass down for whatever reason. And the guy's never done anything bad or wrong. He just drinks beer and shows people how to cook. And he actually does a lot of charity work. And they shut him off. And we talked about this. They just shut. That's my biggest fear. It's like, you've got 1.4.
Yeah.
You hit a click, you hit an inch, you hit a thing, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Now you got to be able to transfer those people over into YouTube, Instagram to keep them, because if you get shut down on one, you got to have a backup plan.
You got a backup. Yeah.
And that's what scares me. It's like,
it's the thing of, you got to run with it as quick as you can. It's like I got the Cameo now. So it's like you try to as quickly as you can.
Right.
Throw them that way and then throw them to Instagram, because like you said, at any minute, it's gone.
Right. So how much are you charging on Cameo?
$10.
$10? Not bad. I haven't gone on there.
One thing is, I got a lot of kids, and $10 for kids is just really easy.
No, I was just curious. I was just curious what your starting point was at. That's decent. I thought maybe it'd be like $20, but
I've already done 100 of them.
There you go. There you go. See, that's what it's about. It's about finding that price point. It's about finding a price point that meets what you know who's following, who's watching it, and that's being aware of that.
Yeah.
But you've got to hit while iron's hot, and that's the thing about when I got to 10,000 real quick on TikTok, and then it just kind of crawled from there and hit a couple of things, and then I kind of switched things. I think it screwed the algorithm up, and then I got flagged and all this. I don't think I quite hit enough while the iron was hot. I don't know. I could care less. I'd rather grow slow than fast.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when it grows fast, you're moving so fast you don't know what you're doing.
It's overwhelming. I can tell you that. It is overwhelming.
Well, when my Fat Throw Lockdown Challenge took off during COVID overnight, I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I literally had to have a meeting with with Rick, who, rest in peace, who was part of this podcast, and why the podcast started was because of the Fat Throw Lockdown Challenge. My wife, I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just doing me. And I was just, and instead of doing stand-up, I'm doing stuff in the garage and talking to people. But, but at that point, you had everybody's attention because nobody had nothing else to do.
Yeah. And like with me, it's like, I'm starting to get some of these followers like Ginger Billy. And it's like, I'm not that caliber. Why am I getting these type of people?
Well, they're looking they're going to watch you because you're up there in their category.
Yes.
Okay. So can you help them get bigger? And can you help them reach into an audience that they're not pulling from? And you vice versa, which is a good thing. It's just like comedy. And Ginger Billy does stand-up comedy too.
Yeah.
He does shows. And it's networking because, me started as a comedian, you want to be able to work. And if another big comedian who like John Reese, Steve Trevino, who I've opened for, they're like, hey, and they put me on stage. Steve Trevino has put me on stage for him on several different shows here in Atlanta, Comedy Zone in Greenville. And he liked me. He's very supportive, but it's networking those bigger guys, and he's giving me a chance in front of his audience. It's not so much me, it's one of those things. It's fold.
Yeah.
It's a networking thing. He's helping me. Now, I don't know that I can help him. I'm doing everything I can to help him on everything I do because I thank him out there because he's got an amazing career. I've always been a fan of his, and now he and I are friends, and
yeah.
got his number, and we're co-workers, so to speak. So
yeah.
But yeah, those bigger guys will help you. I mean,
Yeah.
just a lot of things like Rocky Del
But
Davis.
I don't look at myself as that caliber. That's my issue.
Well,
so like,
what caliber? I mean, all you are is a million plus creator, which Ginger Billy is a million. You're not trying to be a comedian. Yeah. You're a creator now, or a million plus creator. You have 1.4
crazy creator.
Yes, you're batshit crazy creator, and so and you're gonna do something like the Reese's Pieces thing, which I didn't realize people had did however many TikToks off of, just using your soundbite.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I didn't realize that took off. You never know what's people are gonna latch on to and take off. It was just funny when I saw that when you posted and I read it, I go, what? So that people use that. I mean, which is fine. I'm just like, that took off. I would thought I was like, that's the one that took off.
I mean, my shoe video has got like over 20-something million views for showing shoes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insanity. You just don't know what's gonna latch on, and carry on. But the thing is just, be yourself, and that's what everybody tries to tell you in comedy. Be yourself. Find your voice, but be yourself at the same time. But it's it's absolutely insane what carries, what goes on. But at the same time, like you said, now it's a business. Now it's a thing. What you need to be able to launch from. People have gotten. People have, in my world, in the comedy stand-up world, have gotten a lot more stage time. They've gotten a lot more gigs. They, it depends on what you're. You got to be able to branch out what you want to do, what you're going to do. Whether it's selling shirts, selling cookbooks, or whatever, or doing cameos. Are you there? You went silent. I don't hear you. Nope. No. It's not on my end. You're open on my end. You went silent. No, nothing. I'm not getting anything. I can see your mouth moving, but we hear zero on my end. Hold on. Yeah, everything was fine, and you went silent. Your mic is up. Everything's good. You come disconnected. Let me look here. I can't do anything on my end. We've lost Jody's sound for whatever. Your mic's fine. Your mic's all the way up. I knew something was up because you just went quiet. Quiet. He went quiet. Jody went quiet. He's not eating Reese's Pieces. He can hear me because he's laughing. I can see him laughing. For those of you listening on bus ride and all that, listen to this episode, we just lost the audio for Jody. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. It's not on my end, somewhere on the other end that we're trying to piece together. Look at that. Boom. Reese's Pieces. Piece it together. So I do have something to say when we get him back here. I know he can hear me, but I need him. Nope, nothing. Nothing still, brother. Nothing. You just went dead. I don't know. You may need to go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. If your headset's charged and not dead, I know he uses a wireless thing, so I don't know if maybe it went dead. Because sometimes I unplug my mic. So far, 34 minutes into the podcast, I've yet to unplug my mic. We got 26 minutes left for me to have a chance to unplug the mic. But let's take this time to thank our sponsors. Also, go to TikTok at Midget Mafia OG for Jody's. Please follow me on either the Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Andy Gunnin. I'd prefer if you want to pick one or two, pick Instagram and TikTok if you don't mind. Facebook's great too. That's where all my shows are, where I'm going. I'll be in Ohio in a couple of weeks. Louisiana, 22nd Louisiana, 29th Covington, Ohio. Working on some more shows, I think, and hopefully I'll have some more if you want to see me, want me to come to your town. reach out to me or reach out to your local club or bookers for comedy shows. Say, hey, we'd love to have Andy Gunnin out here. I mean, we might even bring Jody. Might even book Jody. That's what we need to do, Jody. I don't know where we got Jody.
Is that better?
Hey, you're back.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something on your either. I don't know if you're coming through a phone or whatever, but something disconnected and cut the volume off on that end. Hey, I was just saying it's been 35 minutes. I've yet to unplug my microphone. So hey,
congratulations. We should have took that bet.
Still got 25 minutes. Still got 25 minutes. The day is young. The podcast is young. No, but what I was going to say is that, you know, what you're going to launch it or what you're going to launch it into, which are going to be anything at this point, because people will pay to come see you. We need to do a show and have people come see you. But anyway,
just stand on stage and wave.
No, we'll put that. Well, no, we'll put together some stuff. I'll help you put together some set. Seriously, I'll help you put together. I'm not going to put somebody on the show and just say wave. No, you're gonna perform. We're gonna put together.
Watch the Lucky Charms.
No, we'll put together a set or something, or either we'll just bring the podcast, or either what we'll do is we'll get paid to book the podcast and go do the podcast around the country. That's what we should do.
That'd work.
But like I said, or to get commercials or to get work.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think. I know that's probably what that's what you're working for and working towards.
We're trying to make something work.
Yeah. So that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But that's the thing about is you put up the stats on Facebook earlier. I think it was today. It could have been last night.
I think it was last night.
About the different about how many people had who was considered an influencer in 2021. I don't know what the numbers are now, but I think there's a lot more people with more than 1 million followers in the U.S. now. Everybody's kind of taken off because for people who were doing it in 2020 and 2021 that jumped in it, a lot of them now they've gone to one. You know, there's a lot of them that have over 1 million. So it's kind of becoming the norm, I guess now.
It'd be nice to see the statistics at the end of the year. What happened?
But it was interesting. No, it was very interesting. I'm glad you found it because I mean. It's right here. I'm going to read it for everybody. For those of you that don't know that Jody found, which I find a very, very interesting statistic.
Because he's smart.
It's what?
I said because he's smart.
Who's smart? Not me.
Me. I'm smart. You didn't know that?
Yeah, you. I know that. Jesus Christ. Yes, I know that. Okay, here it is. Okay, here it is. In 2021, there was over 50.5% of TikTok influencers in the United States. What is that? 50% of what? The population?
I think of TikTok followers.
Oh, of TikTok. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what that number is.
Yeah.
But the average. Okay. But the average average TikTok influencer had 1,000 to 5,000 followers. The average. Around 30%, which we know Bella Port's one of the first ones that went crazy, which I still don't get that. Anyways, around 30% of TikTok influencers had between 5,000 and 20,000 followers in the examined period. So, I'm still stuck at 18.7. I'm in that category. In comparison, only 0.24%, not even 1%. Of TikTok influencers in the U.S. had over 1 million followers in 2021. Well, it was originally, rolled out in, I think, China before it ever rolled out here, right? Yeah. So it had more of an Asian over, before it became an American thing. So, but it came out in 2020, late 2020.
Yeah.
Mid. I think they said August 2020 were kind of when it caught on here, because that's when Bella Borch went on there and it kind of went. And that's when I first heard about it. Was in 2020. And I kind of waited and I was like, I might need to get in on this and see what's going on. And I did, and I didn't do anything for a while, and I just sat there. But anyways. But that's a very
I was just watching videos.
Yeah, but that was a very interesting statistic. And that was before really a lot of comedians and people jumped on and started doing things. And now it's just gotten, just like it's like YouTube, like what we talked about YouTube. YouTube was good. People got And now you have got to really have something produced like a professional TV company to be on there and looked at.
Yeah.
Although they have shorts now, and I'm using that shorts. I got 118 followers on YouTube. Hey, what do you know?
I think I got 5.
And the only reason I have that is because I started uploading shorts on there. Yeah. And now the podcast is getting views from people coming over on the shorts. So again, whatever it takes to merge the two and figure it out. I mean, that's all I'm here to do, and figure it all out. But you got to do it all. But again, it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job. You got to have the time to put into it to keep it going. Yeah. So, how much more time are you going to put into it? No, you've got to put all your time into it, like you said.
Now you do. Yeah, sucks. I mean, it don't suck, but it's.
Well, if it's not fun,
it's like you can't do anything else really, because you got to keep going. There's no stopping.
And that was my thing that I've been watching now. It's like, wow. It's like, I guess I really didn't pump out enough in those spans where I go where I don't pump out. You literally got to pump stuff out every day. And then you're pumping stuff out twice a day now? How many times a day?
I have no clue. I just make videos. They stick. They don't. I need to start limiting it and doing just 1 or 2, 3 a day.
Well, originally, everybody said, you got to do 1 a day, which I saw a difference when I did 1 a day.
Yeah.
I never did see a difference when I did 2, and I was trying, at one time I was keeping up with the algorithm news. Yeah. It was like, do 1 a day, find your times, and I was doing it, and I was okay. And then it said, you can do twice a day, but don't do more than this. And it's like, because I would do 2 a day, and something would just go flat, and the other one would do minimal.
Yeah.
It's like what? But anyways, I'm not after algorithms as much as I am actual.
Just get your crap out there.
Yeah.
But
anyways, what we didn't talk about, which I wanted to start off with, which we'll get into this, is a hurricane down in Naples. Oh, my mom's birthday was the other day. She was supposed to be up here to watch Riley's game, but she's not because they live between Naples and Marco Island. Okay. And their house is fine. They got over 2 feet of surge water, which is the first thing. They've been down there for over 20 years, and they've stayed down there through several hurricanes. Most of them, they've only evacuated once or twice, and every time they did, they wish they didn't. So they didn't do it again. But this time, water surged through their neighborhood, and downtown Naples got over 8 feet of surge, which their house sits up about 4 feet off the ground, which luckily it did because it would have been in the house. Yeah. So, but it got under the house, or the water in our house got into the HVAC unit, but they've got some window units. They're doing okay. They're doing fine. Good. And so I want to say happy birthday to my mom. And they're stuck down there waiting on, they say it's just a zoo down there with so many restoration companies. I'm so glad I'm not in the restoration business because I'd be down there too. I'm just so glad not to be having to deal with all that, even though they do need help. But here's the thing. I get they need help. But you know what the average median income for a house for people on the average median income per person in Naples is?
What's that?
$118,000 a year.
Okay.
And it's a lot higher. No offense to nobody, but they got insurance. You making that much money, you can afford a good insurance. They're gonna be okay. I see all these flooded mansions and I've been to them. My dad has sold windows to $17 million homes, $54 million. I've walked in them. I've been invited in them. I've seen things that would blow your freaking mind. People doing in these homes that aren't even their main home. It's like their second or third home. It's just to shelter their money.
Yeah.
And their Ferraris are getting flooded and all this. I have no sympathy for your Ferrari and all your $200,000 car bullshit.
Yeah.
None. You've got good insurance. If you got that money, you've got insurance. You don't have State Farm. You have above State Farm. There's another insurance company for millionaires, and I'm not in it. You're in it. I feel bad. I feel bad for those who can't afford, who live down there. There are some people. Well, I'll help them in any way possible, but
well, the thing is about the car thing is a lot of them seen it coming, you have enough time to get that $2 million car out of that zone.
My dad had every one of his cars. He took every one of his cars 2, if not 3 days ahead. 3 days ahead. And there's a parking garage in downtown Naples that has like 5 floors, and he put it up on the top, or 4 floors. He put it up on. He paid the daily rate to park all 3 of his cars up on the 4th floor, which is over 30-40 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
To miss the surge. Now, if anything else happened, a palm tree comes flying out of the air. That's act of God. Insurance covers it, but he went and put all his cars downtown Naples on in that parking garage, took his motor home, and went and put it in a high area where he knew it. And guess what? Guess what didn't happen?
Yeah.
But most of those people who have those cars and stuff, that they don't live down there year round, so they got to be able to get people down there, and the caretakers and the people at the houses that take care of those cars probably like, we're gone, we're out. You know, they probably weren't there because most of the majority of the people that live down in Naples are snowbirds or people who retired, and if in this time of the year they just start coming down. So a lot of people weren't even down there yet, and a lot of these houses, like I said. My dad sold windows for a company down there, and he's one of the top window salesmen. He's now retired, but I walk through houses that blow your mind that people are their 3rd, 4th, and 5th houses. These are people who own major companies or who are in the tech business, who are in major things. I'm not going to say, which I can't say for a lot of them. Yeah. But they have multi-million-dollar houses all over the world, and this is one of 5 or 4 or 3. And they have these nice cars, and they store them. They may go down there once every couple of years. I've walked in houses that have never been touched in 4 to 5 years. They have somebody go in, check, make sure everything's okay. They go in there. They have it's called a caretaker. They just go in there, check, make sure, they send someone in to clean it once or two. That's it. Yeah. They got like 2 and 3 kitchens. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you build your house next to the ocean, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah. You got to expect it.
I mean, hello. McFly, hello.
Yeah.
God, nature's not going to change, and we can't change it. It's crazy. It's crazy. My stepdaughter turned 15 while I was gone. I didn't talk about this. She's got her learner's permit. Don't you have one that's got a learner's permit?
She's got a license now. Yes.
No, she has her license.
Yeah, she got a license.
License. Okay.
Scary.
Well, what's scary is I forgot how scary it is to have a 15-year-old who wants to drive.
Yes.
Mine are grown. I forget how scary it was, and I let her drive me last Saturday to take her to her little job, and my butt was puckering. I haven't had my butt pucker like that in a long while because mine are grown. Yeah. I was like, oh Lord, I wasn't doing the pump, the brake, the air brake, the floorboard passenger side brake. I wasn't doing that, but I was like, whoo, I was like, slow down. She kind of drives it like a golf cart. It's like, you have got to slow down in these turns.
Yeah.
This is not a golf cart.
Yeah.
This is a truck.
And then she'll sit there and say, I'm going just as fast as you are.
No.
Mm-mm. I've been driving a lot
longer. I have insurance, and I have a job and money to pay for insurance.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. You have nothing. You are nothing. That's what we tried to explain to my wife. What was it, last night or the other night? She said something, and because she's got a job. Okay, so get this. She's got a little part-time job where she goes and helps this lady with all these show dogs and these dogs that she raises and breeds at her house. And she goes down there, and she loves puppies. She wants to be a veterinarian. We're like, okay. And so we're like, wash our dogs. She's like, if you pay me. And I go, pay? And my wife was like, pay you? You get paid to live and breathe and to have access to our pool. And to have a room and a roof and food, and she said to me, allow you to have a license. You already get paid.
That's different.
And she's like, what? And we're like, she was like, she went down a thing. She was like, are you kidding me? This isn't just and she was like, there's a lot of kids that don't have what you have or what we have or whatever, our opportunity. And I was like, you get her, because if not, I'm taking over. Tag me in. I'm like, tag me in. I'm standing over there like pro wrestling, like a tag team. Like, tag me in. Tag me in. I was like, tag me in. Tag me in. I got some things to say. Tag me in. Tag me in.
Oh, God.
But it's like you can watch our dogs. They're your
Yeah.
dogs too.
Yeah.
I feed them. I take them to the vet, and I was like, you can watch them.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, you can go take care of other people's dogs for $10 an hour. I go, $10 an hour. I go, here's $5. Go wash the dogs.
Well, what you should have done was paid her. And then when she come to dinner,
paid. She gets an allowance.
I know. But when she comes to dinner, they're like, that's $5.
Oh yeah.
She wants to go to the pool. That's $10.
Oh no, I told my wife, we're gonna put a price tag on everything.
Yeah.
Everything. It's like, you get how much you got of this? I need this. I need that. I need that. I was like, we're gonna put a price tag on every time she touches a water or whatever. It's like a $2 or $1 for. I'll be nice. $1 for water. What you want to eat dinner? Okay, that's $4.50, $5.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you restaurant prices, but I'm gonna give you the actual cost of the breakdown of what that costs.
Life lessons.
Life lessons, brother. Life lessons. I was like, you couldn't have a job to make enough. She sat down, and I'll never forget. She sat down, and she's got these great dreams. And I want her to have dreams, but it's like reality, will slap you in the face.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, she drew. She says, I'm gonna go to school, be a veterinarian, then I'm gonna have me a farm, then I'm gonna have me a house, then I'm gonna have all these horses. She's gonna have a farm, kind of like what you got.
Yeah.
And all this, talking about all this. I'm like, okay, how are you gonna pay for this? She said, what do you mean? How are you gonna pay for this? I mean, you're gonna be a veterinarian, okay? I mean, you know how much a veterinarian makes?
Yeah.
She's like, well, no, not really, but I'm like, well, I mean, they make different levels. I mean, if you have your own practice, if you don't, if you work, there's different levels. And I'm not saying they don't make a good living or not a good occupation, but let me tell you what the price per acre is right now, and what it used to be, and what it is now, what it may or may not be in another 4 or 5 years, 10 years before you get out there. And I started writing down numbers. I was like, it's gonna, that kind of property is probably gonna be, unless you go somewhere way south, which there's very few places anymore to go way south or way out anymore to get affordable land. I said, unless you go to Alabama, there's still affordable land in Alabama. There still is. Then you can do that. You could probably pull it off, but you got a very small window, and it may increase. So let's just write. Sorry, and she goes, okay. And she goes, oh, that's a lot of money. I was like, yeah, that's a lot of money.
So what second and third job are you going to have?
Yeah, so what second and third job are you going to have? She's like, what? She's like, well, I just want it. And I go, I know you want it. I want a lot of things too.
Yeah.
Your mother wants a lot of things. She wants me to be better, but I'm not going to be. But I mean, it's just like, oh, it's so funny.
And I'll support you 100%. And when you make that money, you can help us out.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as we started saying, and then you can, and she was like, as soon as it flips, she goes, what? Well, that's mine. I go, oh, and my wife goes, oh, all this is mine. Everything on your body is mine. Everything you see and you feel, you touch is mine. I was like, oh, you don't open up the wrong door, sister.
Sell everything, buy a wheelchair, and knock at the front door. Take care of me.
Oh, dude, we've done told her. We told her, and we told her it's like when you graduate high school, she's halfway through the 9th grade.
Yeah.
Almost 3.5 years. You graduate. I said, we are selling the house. We're gone. Or we may rent it out. We don't know yet. But we won't be here. And she's like, what? It's like, we won't be here. We got plans. We've got a couple of A and B plans right now, depending on how the economy and the market and things work out and what happens with me and other things. We're gone. We don't know where yet. We've got a couple options, but we're not going to be here. And wherever we go, we may do an RV thing for a while, and then we may do a condo thing. Those are our two things right now that we want. Either way, we're downsizing.
Yeah.
And if we get a condo, it will be a 2-bedroom condo. 2-bedroom meaning for my wife's crafts and crap.
Yeah.
And that's a sleep in. There will be no coming back.
Yeah.
She was like, what? She was okay. And I go, understand. Your mother, we got you. We'll help you get through college. We'll figure it out. Loans, whatever you got to do. We're not going to pay full bill.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. But as long as you're at school, you'll be okay. So you'll have 4 years to figure it out. So when you walk out in that 4 years, you better have it figured out.
Yeah. It's the only way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, too many people are getting out of high school and having no clue. None.
Zero clue. Zero clue. I think the best thing that I know, we both grew up around dads who showed us their businesses and stuff. We learned from watching and helping them and basically going to work with them. I used to ride work with my dad, and your dad's work was basically around your house half the time, unless he was driving.
Yeah.
We learned and we watched. Now, I didn't jump right into it out of high school. I tried to do my own thing differently, and I realized people value me differently than I value myself.
Yes.
And I don't like being valued based upon a number and a wage. I like being based upon what I can produce and do. So that's where my mind went. And I quickly went back to sales and started going towards sales, and then ended up in the construction industry where my dad was. Not that I wanted to, it was a necessity. And and I realized it's like the only way I'm going to make anything and make any decent money is be able to sell. Is in sales or managing my own stuff, and being in charge of me and my destiny, not letting someone else tell me, oh yeah, well, you could have a bonus, but we may decide we're not doing bonuses. Yeah. So like if I talk to a company and negotiate with them, they go, well, we'll give you this much salary so it looks good on the books, but then we'll make it up in bonuses. But then they can decide to cut bonuses. They can decide not to do bonuses. And then you're stuck. And it's your problem because they screwed up their bottom line because overhead, whatever. So that's I woke up sitting out on the Delta ramp going in college going, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
But you learn it that quick. Yeah. There's too many kids that it's just, they're in their last year of college and it ain't clicked.
No, they've been partying and all, which is fine.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine. You do you. You do you. But yeah, it's we talk, and I keep telling. I'm not soft selling it. We keep telling her like we're going. I was like, my kids are grown and gone. By that time, Jesus, I'll be 50. What 50? And my plan is to be on the road doing more shows and gigs and touring. Hopefully, who knows what'll happen. But either way, my wife can work from anywhere.
Yeah.
And so we've decided it's like, our peace and happiness. So while we're still young enough to enjoy, we're going to move somewhere we want to be, not when we're almost dead and dying. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so everything we're doing, and this goes back to what we started with, this TikTok and everything. He's like, everything we're doing now, we're working towards something. You're working towards something. I'm working towards something.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
There's a final destination.
There's a final destination. And it may be something we didn't plan on, but we're on a path to something. We do have a goal. We do have an end point. We do have some goals, and it may still keep going. Yeah. But, anyways. So what's your next plan? What's your next thing? You two, where are you going to keep pumping? What we got? T-shirts? You got T-shirts coming? You got, what we got? What we got?
Yeah, we got the T-shirts, got the stickers, and I'm actually thinking about doing the picture that I got with my pinkish shirt on. I'm going to sell autographed pictures.
Oh, so
it's worth a shot.
Oh, okay. Headshots.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
No, headshots worth a shot.
Yeah.
Do it to it. Actually, well, we'll talk about this off air. I got some ideas. I think that you probably already thought about it, but it would probably work.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it off. That will. I think you should consider. But anyways, we'll talk about that off. And then we'll come back and you'll say, Andy, that's the most amazing idea ever. And I'm like, no, I can't help it. I can't help it. All right. I think that's it for this podcast. Reese's Pieces. Muted. Banned from doing lives. Jody is not allowed to do live TikToks. You need to just start doing live Instagrams. That's what you need to start doing. And this is going to allow you to start building that Instagram following.
Mookie mentioned that. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no, I seriously do. Because, and the reason why Mookie said that is because Instagram is like I was telling you, everybody in the world, and this just says the aging in and aging out of people, bookers, things like that. People look at Instagram first. Facebook is considered an old person's thing. It's blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't care. But Instagram is the new face or baseline. It's Instagram, I guess, TikTok, Twitter, stuff like that. So you need to start. That's what.
What about MySpace?
Dude, let's do it. MySpace doesn't even exist anymore. Somebody said they tried to log in their MySpace account. I was like, is it still up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
have no clue.
I have no clue either, man. I briefly put up a profile on there when I was going through my divorce just to see what it was about, because I was obviously talking to people younger than me, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's a way for me to get to know people and stuff before I ever decided to do comedy and stuff. But it was crazy. It was weird. I you know what? Actually, thinking about it, I was kind of more entertained a little bit by people's profile pages than I am now.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more to it on the MySpace side.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways, people you couldn't look at it at work if you had an office job. And at that time I had taken an office job, and you click on somebody's thing and they're like, singing about D's and puzzes and things like, you're like, oh, you're like, I just clicked on their profile.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even own anything bad.
Yeah. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Oh, God.
All right, I think that's it for this podcast, for this session. We will see you next week. Hopefully have some more stories. Hopefully this filming of the commercial goes good. Hopefully it's going to be I can do it on a Saturday, which is fine. That's fine. I'll just have fun Sunday. Sunday fun day. Sunday. But anyways, it's paycheck. It's doing what we do.
Exactly.
Catch Jody. Not live on TikTok, but you can catch him on TikTok and hopefully live on Instagram and at Midget Mafia OG and Midget Mafia.us.
There you go.
That's it.
I'm proud of you. Your mic stayed on the whole time.
Daggum right. See, when you bet me to do something, see what I'm talking
about?
There you go. I should have took that bet. I didn't even want to bet on myself. I told you, I was like, man, I'm a bettor, but I know what it's. And honestly, if I had taken the bet, I would have. Because I backed away from this little thing that was catching it. I don't know if you can tell how far, but I keep backing up away from it, like out of the camera view. But anyways, for those of you listening on Spotify, anything, like, share. Thank you for those who've given us 5-star reviews. Thank you for those that do reach out. I manage all the Fat Thor podcast stuff, the Instagram page, all that. So you're not going to get Jody if you message, but you will get me. I will reply. I know you'll be disappointed, but that's okay.
He's just as good.
What's that?
I said it's just as good.
It's just as good. It's just as good. Or you can come on here, or you can post. Jody will get it. You can tag him on the Fat Thor podcast page. He will get the message. He'll look at it. He'll probably respond. We don't get a lot on there, but he will respond. I'll respond. So thank you for those who said they're going to buy a koozie and support the show and support the podcast. We thank you very, very much for that. And like I said, if you buy something and support the show, we will give you a shout out and thank you. And Jody will say thank you too.
Yep.
So, and you'll get a free thank you cameo out of it. Not on Cameo, but just here. It's called the Fat Thor cameo. We gotta do what we can, man. We gotta do everything we can. All right.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Jody, have a good weekend, brother. Talk to you
next
week.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be good. Hey, try not to get banned anymore, but if you do, it's gonna be a great conversation. We're just gonna keep getting banned from everything. See you guys.